Welcome to my channel Starwire Daily. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. Picture this: a sunset ceremony overlooking the Pacific, rose petals falling like snow, and every single person in that room is someone whose face you'd recognize in a heartbeat. This isn't a movie premiere. This isn't a Met Gala. This is something far more intimate, far more exclusive, and we're about to take you inside. Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco just said, "I do," in what might be the most talked about celebrity wedding of the decade. And the guest list? It's absolutely insane. We're talking A-listers, music royalty, Hollywood legends, and some surprises that nobody saw coming. So grab your favorite drink and buckle up, because we're about to expose every single detail about who made the cut, who brought the drama, and who gave the most emotional speech that left everyone in tears. Before we dive into the glamour, let's talk about how we got here. When Selena and Benny first sparked dating rumors in 2023, the internet had thoughts. People couldn't wrap their heads around it. Selena Gomez, the Disney darling turned pop sensation, falling for a music producer known more for his work behind the scenes? It didn't fit the narrative everyone had written for her. But real love doesn't care about narratives. Selena had been through enough heartbreak and public scrutiny to know exactly what she wanted. And what she wanted was someone who saw her, not the fame. Benny brought something different. He made her laugh effortlessly, supported her music without competing, and showed up consistently without needing the spotlight. Fast forward to their engagement in late 2024, and suddenly the world was seeing what Selena knew all along. This was it, the real deal. The wedding took place at a sprawling private estate in Malibu, scheduled for golden hour when everything looks dipped in honey and dreams. Selena wanted intimate and meaningful. The guest list was capped at just over 200 people, practically a private dinner party in celebrity terms. The aesthetic was ivory and champagne tones, cascading florals, and hundreds of candles creating an ambience from another era. And the dress? Selena made choices that had the fashion world collectively losing their minds. But we'll get to that. Now let's talk about who was there, because this is where it gets really interesting. Taylor Swift was one of Selena's bridesmaids, standing right there as she walked into her new chapter. These two have weathered storms that would have sunk most Hollywood relationships. Taylor handwrote a letter to Selena the morning of the wedding that left her in tears, the kind that come from being truly seen by someone who's known you since you were both kids. David Henry from Wizards of Waverly Place was there, getting emotional during the ceremony. These two grew up together on set and maintained a friendship lasting nearly 2 decades. When he posted a throwback photo in wizard robes with the caption, "From magic to matrimony," the nostalgia hit hard. Francia Raisa, who literally gave Selena one of her kidneys, was front and center. Their friendship has had its ups and downs, but seeing them together, laughing and embracing, was proof that some bonds are unbreakable. Benny's side of the guest list was stacked. He's one of the most successful producers in the industry, so naturally, his connections brought serious star power. Ed Sheeran flew in from the UK and performed an acoustic set during cocktail hour, completely unplugged, just him and his guitar. When he sang "Thinking Out Loud," there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Halsey arrived in a stunning emerald gown. She and Benny have worked together extensively, and seeing her support his big day reinforced the respect between these artists when cameras aren't rolling. But here's where it gets interesting. Justin Bieber was there. Yes, Selena's ex. Before you think it was awkward, let me tell you, it wasn't. People grow up. Relationships end, time passes, and sometimes people reach a place where they genuinely wish each other well. Justin's been married to Hailey for years. Selena found her person in Benny. And Benny specifically wanted Justin there because of their professional friendship. Selena gave the green light, showing a level of maturity we should all aspire to. Justin kept a low profile, looking genuinely happy to be there. No drama, no tension, just adults being adults. Meryl Streep showed up, and can we just appreciate that? They worked together on Only Murders in the Building, and Meryl became a mentor figure to Selena. Their presence together represented a Hollywood legend recognizing the next generation. Steve Martin and Martin Short were also there, naturally. There's footage of Martin Short doing an impromptu comedy bit during the reception that had the entire room howling. Cara Delevingne arrived fashionably late in a custom suit that had fashion blogs scrambling. She's been a rock for Selena during tough times, and their friendship is built on realness. Rihanna was there. Yes, Rihanna. The woman who barely attends her own events showed up with A$AP Rocky, both looking absolutely effortless. She brought a vintage bottle of champagne from her personal collection as a wedding gift, the kind of thoughtfulness that shows this wasn't just another event on her calendar. Billie Eilish and Phineas were spotted, representing the new generation of music industry bonds. Billie wore a custom black gown that somehow looked both gothic and elegant. Leonardo DiCaprio made an appearance, which raised eyebrows because he's notoriously selective. But Leo and Benny have been friends for years, running in the same LA circles. As guests took their seats facing the ocean, the sun began painting the sky in shades of pink, orange, and gold. A string quartet played, transitioning from classical pieces to modern love songs. Then Selena appeared, and the world stopped. She wore a custom gown featuring delicate lace, a flowing train, and a veil that caught the breeze perfectly. But here's what really got people. Selena walked herself down the aisle. No father figure, just her, choosing to step into this chapter on her own terms. It was a powerful statement about independence and knowing your worth. Benny stood at the altar, and witnesses say the look on his face was pure adoration. The vows were personal and private. Keeping those words just between them feels revolutionary in a world where everything is shared. There were tears from the couple, the guests, probably the officiant too. The reception was held under the stars, with tables throughout the estate's gardens. Each featured white roses and peonies with candlelight, creating intimate ambience. The menu fused Selena's Mexican heritage with Benny's favorites. The speeches got emotional. Taylor's maid of honor speech lasted 15 minutes, covering everything from their first meeting to inside jokes. She talked about watching Selena navigate heartbreak and health challenges, and how Benny changed something fundamental. How Selena started smiling differently, laughing more freely. David Henry took everyone back to their Disney days with embarrassing stories about young Selena on set. But the speech that really got everyone came from Benny's best friend Ryan Tedder. He shared a story about Benny calling him at 2 a.m. after their first date, saying, "I think I just met the woman I'm going to marry." Everyone realized they just witnessed a 4-year promise being kept. Phineas performed an instrumental piece he'd composed specifically for the wedding. But the moment that'll be talked about for years? Selena herself performed a new, unreleased song she wrote about finding love with Benny. Her voice carried extra vulnerability, joy, and gratitude. Halfway through, Benny joined her for an imperfect but perfect duet. Then came a surprise. Bruno Mars showed up to perform an hour-long set that transformed the reception into a full-blown concert. People danced on tables, shoes were abandoned, and formality dissolved into pure celebration. Selena changed into 3 outfits throughout the night. For the reception, a sleek modern gown for easier movement. Later, a custom white jumpsuit with a dramatic cape that had fashion editors frantically typing about the death of traditional bridal expectations. Taylor's custom dress sparked its own news cycle, with hand-sewn details taking over 200 hours. Cara's tailored suit became an instant fashion moment. Rihanna wore vintage Dior, looking effortlessly chic. Billie's custom Gucci honored her signature aesthetic while respecting the wedding's elegance. Instead of a traditional guest book, they set up a recording booth where guests left video messages. Imagine having Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, and Bruno Mars on video wishing you well for your marriage. Wedding favors weren't generic items. Selena and Benny made charity donations in each guest's name, focused on mental health, lupus research, and music education. Each guest received a handwritten card explaining their honored charity. The 7-tier cake's top tier was a recreation of a cake Selena's grandmother used to make for her childhood birthdays. That connection to family and heritage transforms a wedding from an event into a statement about who you are. Let's talk about what this wedding really represents. Selena has lived her entire adult life in the public eye. Relationships dissected, body criticized, health struggles turned into headlines. Finding real, genuine love in that context is revolutionary. Benny represented normalcy. He didn't need her fame because he had his own success. What he wanted was simply her, the woman behind the Instagram posts and headlines. This wedding celebrated the victory of authenticity over performance, privacy over publicity, choosing happiness over what looks good on paper. For an event attended by some of the most followed people on the planet, there was remarkably little social media during the actual wedding. Guests were asked to keep phones away during the ceremony, to be present, and everyone complied. In 2025, at a celebrity wedding, people actually put their phones down. Official photos are being released slowly, carefully curated. The first was a black and white shot of their hands, intertwined, with wedding bands visible. Simple caption, "Forever starts now." It got 30 million likes in 2 hours. That's the power of restraint in an age of oversharing. Beyond the honeymoon, they're keeping completely private. There's speculation about new music. Selena's been teasing her most personal album yet, likely collaborating with her producer husband. Only Murders in the Building continues. New rare beauty launches are coming, and Benny remains one of the most in-demand producers. But beyond careers, this wedding represents how Selena approaches her public life now, drawing clearer boundaries, protecting her peace, choosing what to share and what to keep sacred. So that's the full story of Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco's wedding. From the carefully curated guest list to emotional ceremonies, surprise performances to fashion moments, meaningful details to larger cultural impact, this wedding was everything it needed to be. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button. Drop a comment below. What was your favorite part? Were you surprised by any guests? I genuinely want to hear your thoughts. If you're not already subscribed, now's the perfect time. We'll continue following this story as more details emerge and cover everything happening in entertainment with this same depth. Because these aren't just celebrities. They're people living complex, fascinating lives. And understanding those lives, seeing beyond the headlines, that's what we're all about here. This is StarWire Daily, and we'll see you in the next one.